Hi everyone, it's Sue. So we're back today with part 5, I think it is, of this giveaway journal. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do, but I just thought I need to just get on with it. Must be dragging this out for you guys, so I apologize about that. So I just thought I'll just try and just do a few little bits and pieces and see where we go with it. So this is just this is the collage sheets that I glued on there, I think on the first video. I'm not sure whether I even did that on video. I've just trimmed them down. I thought we might make some tags or yeah, I'm not really sure. As I said, I'm not sure what I've got planned, to be quite honest. So I just thought we'll get into it and just have a bit of a play and see what comes of it. So I did find this cute little faux wood paper bag. I just thought that might be cute in there, so I've just popped a few bits and pieces in here, and I just thought we'll just go with it and see where we end up. So just bear with me for a second. I've got mess everywhere. I'm working on something exciting. I think it's exciting anyway, which hopefully I'll have finished and be able to release, I don't even know what day it is, it's Wednesday, by the end of next week anyway. I'm hoping to have these things completed. So I'm just trying to make some room so that I can drag my sewing machine over, because I did ask in the last video what sort of elements some of you might like to see, and I did have a few people comment. So sorry, wasn't very organized. Jim's just gone out to do groceries, so I thought I'll hurry up and try and sneak a video in while I've got the peace and quiet and no one around to interrupt me. So now I think I did have somebody say, you know, maybe add some ruffles in, which is what I am planning to do anyway. So there's one here, and I think I did include that. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I did show you how to do the ruffles. So I thought, you know, I might add at least another one ruffle in on the pages somehow. I was just thinking, like, I've sewn all the pockets, pretty much sewn all these bits and pieces that I want to do. So normally what I would do next step is sort out how I want my pages in the journal, the order that I want them in, and then I'd probably actually sew these in, because you can stitch your elements and then just glue them onto your page. So you don't have to. I just find I end up with pages everywhere. So if I just sew the bits that I know I definitely want to sew, like these pockets, I can then just sew the elements as I go and then glue them to the pages. So maybe we might even do that. So have a look. I might just have a look and see how I want to lay out the pages. Now I really do like that when you open the journal, so I think I'm going to leave that there. I don't want to jump straight into that fabric flip though, and then I'll probably go like a more less patterned page. I'm all over the place. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just have to get onto this for you all so that I can get it. I'm up to about 2080 and I just feel like I'm dragging the chain, so I just want to get, I don't know, I don't overthink it too much. If I think about it too much, I just I don't get anything done. So I'm just having a look. What have we got? You just try and sort of spread them out, spread the pattern pieces out a little bit, and the plain pieces out. add a little bit of colour so that all the one colour's not in the one place. Where have I got that one? I think I've got another Edith Holden page there, so I'll pop that one there. Might actually go, that looks pretty beside that. I think I was going to leave that in the middle though. No, I wasn't. I was going to do something else. Okay, that's all right. So we'll put that in there. I don't want to put two craft together. Another pocket. So as you can see, there's really no rhyme or reasoning. Not for me anyway. Not the way I do. Not the way I do my pages. So you know, this might stress a few of you out. So like that. For these, we don't need two little bits together. So this, okay, that was going to be the middle because I had something in mind for that, which I don't know that I'm going to do now. But anyway, we'll see what happens. So put one of these smaller pieces. So you can use all different sizes of papers, and I love all the different sizes and bits and pieces. This is out of an old vintage invoice book, and I've just torn it out, and I'm keeping the torn edge there. That doesn't concern me. If it concerns you, by all means cut it off. So I might just put that there. Okay, so I might do, I mean, I think everybody does their signatures differently. I don't know that there's any hard and fast rule with regards to them. So what I do, and sorry if I'm shaking the camera as well there, what I do is I just put them in the order that I think I want them in. Well, that I want them in. Once they're sewn in, that's a little bit late to change your mind. And I just go through once I've done that and even up the pages if I want to. See, these I probably would put together and put them pretty much center. The smaller pages, I don't mind. Like, they can just stay like that. That doesn't worry me. That doesn't worry me. I just like the whole, you know, different heights. It's a junk journal anyway, so it doesn't matter if they're not all even. So that other pocket one was up a little bit. I'll leave this one down. This, that's a bit crooked. Let me just fold that, make sure that's folded properly. So I'm going to put this one up the top, just because I can. That's the fabric flip. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. So I'm not going to tap it from the bottom. I'm just going to tap it. So I want all those pages to go down into that center crease as best I can. Now, I will preface this with, I have done, I don't know how many journals I've made lots, and you can bet every time I sew signatures in, I struggle. It's just one of those things that I struggle with, so just bear with me. I have this book cradle that I got from Which Craft Do You Do? I'll try and remember to put Kerry's link down below. It's a game changer. It's certainly changed the way that I bind my books anyway. So, and I've got this little, I think you've seen this before. Oh look, there's my chapstick that I was looking for. This little container. I've got threads all on here, so everything that I need to bind a journal, tool-wise and thread-wise, are sitting in here. So I just grab this, and that's all I need. So, all right. Now, when I'm just doing the, I think it's called the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I have worked out where I want my pages to be. And what you can do, and I don't always do this, and maybe this is where I fall down, is I've got these huge paper clips. So I'm just pushing into the center crease, pushing all my pages down into that center crease, and I'm adding, just to hold them in place, these large paper clips, just to hold the pages in place. Okay, so you can see they're all down to the bottom, and with this cradle you just place it in there like that. So I used to use an old telephone book, but this is just so much easier. So you'll need an awl or a sharp tool. So this is a proper awl you can use, which I used to use before I had this awl. Just use your pokey tool. But I use this. So with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch and this size journal, I just eyeball it. You can measure it if you want to. You can find the direct center, and normally I go about 1 inch in from the bottom and 1 inch in from the top. So I'm just going to eyeball it, and because I'll just show you, because there's a gap here, you can see your awl will just go straight through there. So just make sure you don't put your center where you need to put your center hole there, because there's a piece of wood there. Okay, so put it in the cradle, just eyeball it. I don't even have my glasses on, so I hope it's center, and just pierce through all layers, and you can just stick your finger underneath and just feel for, make sure the awl's gone through. So it has. So that's the center, and as I said, I go approximately 1 inch up from the bottom. So just pierce it, as I said. Oh, this one's going to be a bit harder. Just make sure that's gone through. And again, 1 inch down from the top. I've just painted my fingernails, and I've just noticed that I've put a little red dot on there. Isn't that funny? Like, it's dry. Okay. There. So make sure that those holes have gone through, which they have. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'll just get rid of that. Okay, so we need the cover, and stupid me, I should have done it with, while I had it in the cover. See what I mean? Every time. Goodness knows how many journals I've made, and I still can't get it right. Anyway, it's all good. So I'm just going to just positioned that in the cover, and I'm just going to go through the cover there. Every time I bind a journal, I struggle. It's funny, isn't it, how it's just one thing that when you're doing something, it's just one thing that you just struggle with all the time. So because I'm just going to keep the, just clip the cover now, cover to the signature. So this just keeps it, just tries to keep it all in place. So that's what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to use so I don't know, this is 100% polyester thread, and it's quite strong, but I do like to actually double it over. So I'm just thinking, because it's going to be, I don't know whether I'm adding lace or anything on here yet. If I don't, I just wanted something that sort of blends in a little bit. So I might go with this one actually. So these, this little thing that I've, vintage thread caddy, I think it is, it's called. It's so good just to have all your bits and pieces all on hand. So I'll wind that on later. So I think I'm going to use this one. Now, I can't remember, I think 4 times your height is what they say, but I do more And I know that's probably a little bit wastage, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I always go a little bit extra, and then I'm doubling the thread. So, okay, so just put that out of the way, and now I've got to find, I use a tapestry needle, which should be in here. There it is. So it's quite thick. It's got a big eye, because if you want to use this linen thread, you need something with a big eye. So this is really waxed linen thread that's really, really strong. Just wondering whether that might... No, I'll stick with this one for now. Yeah, so you use the tapestry needle. You can see it. So it's not... I mean, if you can get a longer one, that's probably even better, especially if you've got quite a few pages. I find this one works. Okay, so let's see how we go. Let's see if I can get this first go. Don't hold your breath. I'm just going to put my glasses on. So I just thread it. Can't even thread it. Now where'd the end go? Oh dear. Okay. So just thread it. I've got way too much thread here, way too much. And I'll probably end up with a huge big knot. So, not a very good teacher. Anyway. So just find the two ends, and I've got way too much thread. That's ridiculous. Anyway, it is what it is. Okay, so thread your needle. And what I do is I start from the inside and go through the middle and go to the outside. So you see, holding everything together with clips is so much easier. The one piece that I do struggle is when we're coming back in this way. So let's see if we struggle with that. So pull it through. Now, as I said, I have got way too much thread. So, and I like to just so that you don't end up pulling it all through the other side, just clip it under your paper clip like that, or you can clip it up here if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to go to the top hole, which is here, and we're going to go through, and see, this is where I struggle every time. It should be easy, but I just have to open the signature like that, find the hole, and go through this way. I don't know, guys, like, I'm not a professional. I'm self-taught. It all ends up working in the end, but like I said, every single time I struggle. So if you've got any hints for me, I'm happy to listen. So I'm just hoping that you can see what I'm doing there. I'm just sort of having a look in there. I'm trying not to get my head in there to see. So there we go. We've come through, and I just had a heart attack. Okay, so I said go through the top, but we've gone through the bottom. Have I done? Yes. Okay, so that's another thing that you need to make sure is that you've got your cover the right way up, and all your signature papers the right way up, which is what I didn't do. Okay, so we're going to pull that through so you can see, and you're going to pull that, you want to pull that nice and taut so that we can pull it tighter. Obviously, if we pull it too tight, we're going to pull the thread out of there. So for now, that's going in the bottom. Now I'm going to take my needle and go bypass the center and go up to the top. Once again, you guys have probably all seen this done before, and probably with much more ease than what I'm doing it. Let's see if we can get... No, that's not going to happen. So I'm going to have to just take this clip and move it just so that I can pull aside those pages a bit and see where the hole is. you just risk otherwise, you know, like piercing a hole in the side of your page and not getting it, getting your pages in there straight. So I'm really sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. It's a bit hard when I can't get my head in there. So I'm just pulling the signature aside. Oh, well, that wasn't too painful. And there we go. We're out the other side of the cover. Okay, so pull your thread, okay? So pull that nice and taut. That's not pulled taut yet, but we're going to go back through the outside of the cover center hole, and we're going to come through all your pages. Now, at this stage, I would take the clips off. Once again, this is just me. I'm self-taught. I don't know whether this is right or wrong. This is just how I do it. And this is the part that I really struggle with, is finding that center hole. Okay, so you can see, well, I don't know whether you can see the needle coming through that center hole there. So just fold each piece of paper back and just slowly press your needle in through that hole. You can see it's still coming through there. Still coming through. No, see, we've lost it. Where did it go? There it is there. Yeah, so see, you can see it there. By rights, once you've punched the holes, you should be able to just stick it through. But as I said, I don't think I've done a journal where I haven't had to do this. So whether I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. Anyway, we're at the center. So see how you've got your thread here? You've got your original thread that we started with at the beginning. Put that to the left of the center and bring your needle up to the right of your thread. So you've got one thread to the left and one to the right. Now, can you see that? Let me just have a go. No, that's out. There you go. So you've got 1, 2. So this is your center thread. So we're going to pull that taut. There. So you pull that taut. So this is your center thread here. So you've got one that's come up to the left of it and one that's come up to the right of it. Okay, and we want to pull that tight so that this is quite, you can see, quite firm there, because you don't want your signatures moving about. Okay, so I'm just going to go back out again. Okay, so as you can see, I have way too much thread, but that's okay. So just pull it tight. I'm actually going to trim my threads a bit. So really that's all that I've wasted, double that. So that's not too bad, because I will reuse this thread that is on the needle for a smaller journal, so it's not too bad. Okay, so just so that it's easier to work with. Because I'm standing up now, I can't see, I've got my glasses on. So just pull that taut, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, no I'm not, hang on a minute, and put the glasses back on again. Okay, so thread either side, pull it taut, and I'm going to do, I do 3 knots, just so it's left there and it's nice and firm. Now I'm leaving these. I don't know whether I'm going to hang some beads or buttons from them, so I just leave them until the very end. Okay, so there you have your signatures sewn in to your journal, and this is the telling bit. You sort of just have a flip through and just make sure that everything seems to be secure, which it does. So that's a win. Okay, so that's sewing in the signatures. I hope I hope I didn't confuse you all. So, I'm just having a look at it. So probably actually could have pulled that a little bit tighter, but that's okay. They're not going to go anywhere. They're tight. They're in there to stay. I could have just pulled those threads a little bit tighter, but that's all good. Okay, so that's your journal, pretty much. Sewn in there anyway. As I said, I don't know whether I'm going to add. I just don't want to cover that little butterfly. Anything here. But as you can see, you can't really even see the threads too much, so that doesn't matter. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to pop all my bits and pieces in my little container here and just pop this to the side out of the way. Okay, so another element that I like to put in my journals is a doily side tuck. And this is so easy. I just use this Tim Holtz on the edge punch. And is it called anything in particular? Let me have a look. I don't know. That's a code anyway. I don't even know whether it's still a current. I've had this for many, many years. And that's what it looks like. Very slack. I haven't taken the bits out. So I'm just going to grab my Sizzix machine. So just sort of out of these collage sheets that we backed with cardstock, because they're quite firm. I'm just hoping this will work, because depends, I can re-glue anyway if any bits lift. So I just thought I might cut a couple of tucks with this die. I think I might need some new plates as well. So basically what I do, and this is just, I mean, majority of you probably already know how to do all this. I just measure, so I cut a 3-inch wide piece, and I need at least 6 inches, okay, so that I can cut this out. So this is a good die to use with your scraps as well, scraps of cardstock. You can use up, you know, like, it doesn't hurt to have these little tucks just put aside and pop them in your journals. I don't know, I love them. I love anything lacy and that type of thing anyway. So what I'm going to do is, I want it going up and down like this, so I'm just going to cut on my cutter a 3-inch piece. So I'm just trying to think, I mean, because it's doily and it's got, you know, the holes in it, you're going to lose some of this, but I think I'm going to use 3 inches this way. So just bear with me, I'm just going to cut that. So that's that one. And then I'm just going to, from this side, no, from this side I'll do the same. I'll cut 3 inches on that one as well. Okay. That is such a mess. It's ridiculous. Okay. So pop your first plate down. As I said, this is something that probably all of you have done at one stage or another. So just with this die, I'm just lining up my bottom edge with the outside of the die with this brown piece here, and same with the other edge. Okay, so I'm going to pop that down there, pop my next plate on top, and just run it through. And I'm sorry if this is shaking the camera. I just like to, with most of my dies, I like to run it through twice, but particularly this one, I have used this a lot, and it's actually getting to the point where it doesn't get rid of cut all the bits out. I think part of it might be too that I don't pull these out, so it could be partially my problem. Now I cut it that way, so that means that this is going to be a tuck on a right hand page. So I'm flipping it this way now, and the way I cut it, it's going to be a tuck on the left hand page. So I just line them up again. I'm actually going to drag it down a bit because I'd like some of that, this colour. Yeah. Once again, I just run it through twice. And I'll just pop this out of the way. Okay. So you've got that. I've got this little foam mat and brush thing, which does actually help to get all those little bits and pieces out. Majority of the time it does. And what we might do is, you can see it's cut to there and there. So I'm just going to snip right to the edge of where it's cut. Okay. Now this is 2 thicknesses, so this might, it's coming out okay. So it's just a matter of pulling all these little bits and pieces out. So I've torn the paper there a bit, but that's okay, we can glue that back down. So okay. It's easier to see from the other side, so it's a matter of just getting all those little bits and pieces out. I don't know if that's how this brush thing's supposed to work, but that's how I do it. Maybe if I put my glasses on. Okay. So because that's 2 thicknesses, and I've glued them together, and just finding that it's a little bit harder. Now I'll get my poker tool. I had it a minute ago. What did I do with it? There it is. And just poke out these little circles. So if you have to pull them out a bit, pull them out from the back, so that if it does tear any of the card, you're not going to see it from the front. I'm just gently poking them through. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of the art glitter glue on this little piece here that I've torn. There, just to stick that down. And it all seems to be stuck on the edge, so you just want to, that's not. So see how I've glued it, the collage sheet onto the cardstock, just to make it firmer so we can make some tags. So just go through and add a little bit of glue, because this is going to act as a tuck in your journal, so you don't want anything being caught in that that layer. So I'm just going to do that. Let's wipe away any excess glue. And there you have. So that'll be a tuck on your right hand page. And I'll just very quickly do this one. So same thing, I just snip to the edge. That's pretty too, you could even use that sign. But I like that side as well. So yeah, as I said, if you're pulling if anything hasn't just quite cut, just pull from the back, so that if you do tear something, you're not going to notice it. So how's everyone been anyway? Been really struggling with being tired lately. I'm doing all the right things. I'm eating properly. We've actually several weeks ago invested in an exercise bike. I've been doing that every day. So whether it's just that I'm not used to all the constant exercise, I don't know. But I am menopausal, so, and I'm over it. I've been menopausal for 9 years now. And I'm just, it's honestly things us women have to go through. Just not sleeping. I just sleep about 2 hours a night. That's about all I get. And then I'm just so tired during the day, but I don't want to sleep during the day because I fear if I sleep during the day, then I won't sleep at all at night. So it's a bit of a no-win situation at the moment. But ladies, it is what it is, isn't it? It's what we have to put up with, unfortunately. So I'm basically just going through, I'm probably completely off camera, just going and just making sure that that's all adhered, because we don't want any lifting. So I'm just adding some glue in here. Okay. How do we do this side? I just need to put a bit of glue in this one as well. There we go. So I'll just get all this mess off my desk. I'm a very messy crafter. I do try and put things in my bin, but the floor around me is always a mess, but I vacuum constantly, so I don't know. I've just always been that way. There we go. So there we have 2 tucks. I'm just really quickly going to ink the edges of these. So these edges here, just so that when they go on the page, they lift off. You know, you can see where they start and finish. I'll do this edge as well. This is going to be right on the edge of a page though. So that's the right side. So that's the way it sits, and then this is the left side tuck. I just love these papers from Andrea at Artie Mays. They're just beautiful. So just make sure you have your finger underneath. If you've got this die, just make sure you get your finger underneath when you do that, because it's very delicate. You don't want to be rough with it like I am here and then rip it. There we go. So there we have 2 tucks, which was so easy to do if you've got a die or something similar. And there's no reason why you couldn't even use like your paper doilies as a tuck. So this has got several together. I have tea-dyed all these. But there's no reason why you couldn't have several together. Glue those in half. So then you've got, like, it's really quite firm, and because these are quite dainty, and then glue down your side and stick that onto the side of your page as a tuck as well. So that's something else that you could do. Okay, so I'm just going to have a bit of a look around. So normally what I do is I try and do, and it doesn't always end up being this way. I just need to make sure I'm in frame for you. Apologise if I haven't been. I try and do a similar element in the front half of the signature and the back half. Does that make sense? So like I'm going to do 2 tucks in this journal. So I'm going to do one in the front of the journal and then one in the back. Okay, that's just what I try and do. You know, so I mean, you could put it on something like this because you can't really write on here, but I think we'll probably put a pocket or something on here. So let me have a look. I mean, that looks quite pretty across from that. So I don't think, saying so a lot today, aren't I? Sorry about that. I don't, once again, I try not to overthink it too much. Have a little bit of a look. Yeah, no, I think I like it on this. This is, I've dyed this using red tea. So I'm going to, and that's so pretty. Anyway, we can cut another one if we want to. Just notice that I've Still got a hole in there that I haven't taken out. There we go. I think I will. I'm just going to glue that. I glue up the side there. So it's making it a little tuck, okay? And I'm going to just glue along the long edge and then up the side again, okay? I do like to put it in the center, try and center it, and we just add it to the edge of the page. So just press that down. And there you have a pretty little tuck. We'll make some tags or something to go in there. Obviously that's probably a little bit big, but you know, you get the idea. Now you can, I have done before, you can decorate this part as well. I just think Andrea's papers are just so beautiful. I don't think they need anything added to, particularly on this, because you've got this detail here. If you're really keen, you can get like a cotton tip and go through and ink all these edges here. I'm not that keen. I might become that keen, let's see. But at the moment, I think it looks nice. You can see all the elements there. Okay, so that's the left-hand side that I cut, and this one I've cut the right-hand side. So I'm just going to find a page. So this is where did I put it now? There. It's after that. Okay. So that's the back. Let's add it here. That's pretty. Although we're taking up journaling space there, aren't we? Do I like it there? Let's put it there. I mean, that's a beautiful page, but I just want to, I'm aware that, you know, like there's still, we want a lot of, still want places to be able to journal. So I might, I actually think I like that on that page there. So I'm going to ink the other side of this. And use that. So whatever you have planned doesn't always end up happening, does it? What do you think? Yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to, I mean, I know that's a waste of that page. It is a printable though, and if you buy the printables, which are such good value, you can print them out several times. I've got a Canon Eco Tank and I absolutely love it. And I can print out so many pages before. I've only have had to replace, and it's always like the yellow ink that I have to replace because I do like all the vintage colours. I've only ever had to replace that one. So, and I've had it for probably over a year now. And I print lots of things off. So there you have another beautiful little tuck there. I think that looks nice on that paper. So, okay. Look guys, I'm going to have to leave it there. Very quick video. If you would like to get another entry into this giveaway journal, just subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Like this video, and I will put a question in the description box. So if you answer that correctly, I will put you in for an entry into that, the draw to win this. So I will leave that with you because James is home with the groceries and there will be a lot of commotion happening, I think, with the dog and the cat and him bringing groceries in. So take care, everybody. I hope you're keeping well, and until next time, I hope you get a little bit of crafting time in. See you soon. Bye-bye.